Aries, you've always known you weren't meant for average. There's a flame inside you that refuses to dim, no matter how long you've waited, no matter how many setbacks tried to silence you. And if you've been feeling that flame roar back to life lately, you're not imagining it. You're not being impulsive, you're being activated. Because right now, the universe isn't just nudging you forward. It's throwing open the gates to your millionaire timeline. But not everyone will walk through. Only those who recognize the signs. Only those who dare to run before the door closes. And Aries, this message is here to show you what those signs look like. Because if you've noticed 7 or more of the following 10, you're not chasing money. You're becoming the version of yourself who magnetizes it. And by the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly what to do about it. Pause and ask yourself this. Have you been feeling restless, not anxious, but hungry? Have you been looking around and thinking, I was made for more, and I'm tired of waiting to claim it? Have you felt like you can't play it small anymore, even if playing small feels safer? If any of that hits you, don't scroll away. Because there's a cosmic reason Aries is on fire right now. And it's not random, it's not emotional, it's astrological. Let's talk about Jupiter, the planet of expansion, wealth, luck, and bold growth. From April 2024 to May 2025, Jupiter has been transiting through Taurus, your second house, the house of money, the house of income, the house of what you own, build, earn, and keep. This transit happens once every 12 years, which means this window, right now, is one of the most financially charged of your adult life. But here's the thing, Jupiter doesn't give you money, it gives you chances. And those chances come disguised as pressure, as motivation, as risk. That's why lately you might feel like time is running out, like you're being called to make a move, even if you don't know where it leads. That's Jupiter, Aries, not punishing you, positioning you. And the faster you respond to its signals, the faster your life aligns. So if you're ready, if something in your blood is saying let's go, keep watching. Because the millionaire path for Aries is real. But it's not given, it's chosen. And here are the 10 signs that it's choosing you. You've probably noticed it already. This shift in how you move through the world. You're not dragging yourself toward goals anymore. You're sprinting, even when it's messy, even when you don't have the plan fully mapped out. Something inside you just knows, now is the time. And if you've caught yourself making bolder decisions without waiting for anyone's permission, that's not rebellion. That's readiness. It shows up in the way you speak about money too. You used to treat it like something far away, something for someday. But lately you talk about wealth like it's already yours. You've stopped dreaming about what might happen if, and started strategizing around when. When the first investment pays off? When the business starts scaling? When the freedom kicks in? You've also started trimming the fat in everything. Not just your spending, but your energy, your time, your relationships. Anything that drains you without feeding your future, gone. Not because you're cold, but because clarity has taken the driver's seat. Millionaire energy doesn't beg, it builds. And let's talk about how you've been working. There's this new kind of obsession you're feeling, not with being busy, but with being aligned. You're not just chasing opportunities, you're creating them. And if something doesn't light you up, you drop it faster than ever before. That's not flaky, that's focused. Your inner compass isn't confused, it's calibrated. You're building a future that feels like freedom, not just fortune. There's also this new voice inside you, louder than fear, stronger than doubt. It keeps whispering things like, what if it works? And you're actually listening. That's not naive, that's brave. And that bravery? It's contagious. You've started attracting people who believe in your vision, or better yet, people who challenge you to dream even bigger. You might also be noticing that time feels different, slower in some ways, faster in others. It's not that there's more or less of it, it's that you've stopped wasting it. Every hour feels like a seed. And you're planting with intention because you finally see yourself as the garden. Even your body knows. Your energy spikes when you talk about what you love. You feel lit from the inside when you imagine what's possible. That's not just excitement, that's alignment. And alignment, that's the most profitable state a human can be in. You've stopped needing external proof. You trust the work you're doing even when no one sees it. You're not performing, you're preparing. And that shift, from proving to embodying, that's when the gates start to open. And maybe the most subtle shift of all, but also the most powerful, is this. You've started to feel like it's already happening. You speak like it's coming. You move like it's real. And because of that, it is. But Aries, before you fly forward, there's something you need to hear. Not everyone who gets close to the breakthrough actually breaks through. Because there's one thing even the boldest Aries sometimes forgets. Power without patience is just burnout in disguise. And that fast track you're on, it doesn't guarantee arrival. It only guarantees acceleration. You still have to steer. There's a trap that appears right before the abundance lands. It's subtle. It whispers, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe this isn't working. Maybe you're not who you think you are. It's not your intuition, it's resistance. And the more you expand, the louder it gets. Here's what you need to know. That voice gets loudest when you're closest. When the next yes is just one courageous move away. When the next door requires not a key, but a commitment. And if you let that voice win, you'll find yourself back where you started, with more knowledge, but less momentum. Not because you weren't worthy, but because you hesitated. So don't negotiate with old doubts when your new reality is knocking. Don't pause for permission when you're the one holding the torch. And don't confuse discomfort with danger. Sometimes growth feels like grief, because you're leaving behind who you had to be, to become who you really are. And Aries, let's get honest. You weren't built for safe. You weren't born for quiet. You didn't come here to blend in, shrink down, or be reasonable. You came here to burn, to blaze, to become the kind of force that doesn't just break cycles, it builds new worlds. There's a reason the universe keeps choosing you for the uncomfortable roles. The leadership positions before you feel ready. The opportunities that stretch your voice and test your loyalty to your own vision. It's because you're the portal. You are the fire starter. And everything that's trying to manifest through you, the money, the impact, the movement, it needs you to say yes first. Not to the plan, not to the outcome, but to the version of you that already exists on the other side of fear. Because the moment you stop doubting your timing, you become the timing. This isn't just about wealth. It never was. It's about remembering what you are when you're not performing, pleasing, or proving. It's about moving with that unfiltered fire, not to impress, but to ignite, to open paths that no one else sees until you walk them. And when you walk them, the world follows. So let's take a breath. You've just walked through the fire of remembering. Now it's time to ask, how many of these shifts do you feel pulsing in your life right now? How many times have you caught yourself acting like the future's already yours? How many moments recently have felt like alignment instead of accident? Because here's your truth, written in bold, not whispered in maybe. If you see yourself in 7 or more of these patterns, you're not waiting to become wealthy. You're already living like someone who's ready. And the universe? It notices readiness more than perfection. So what now? You don't need a full business plan. You don't need to master crypto overnight. You don't need to become someone else. You need to double down on the version of you that's already being born. Start with this. Write down the one thing you've been procrastinating that would move you closer to your financial vision. Don't justify. Don't overthink. Just write it. Now ask, what would the millionaire version of me do about this? Today? Then do it. Even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if your voice shakes, because that's how you prove to life that you're not just curious, you're committed. And commitment? It activates everything. It changes how you walk into rooms. It changes what you say yes to. And more importantly, what you say no to. It shifts your posture, your presence, your plans. And every single time you choose that alignment, no matter how small, the universe meets you with a mirror. It reflects your courage back in the form of doors, resources, and timing that feel almost magical. But it's not magic, it's math. It's you, multiplied by your own decision to finally stop holding back. So ask yourself one more thing. If you already knew it was working, if you already believed the path was real, if you already felt the wealth moving toward you, not out of fantasy, but frequency, what would you dare to do differently right now? That answer, that's your start, that's your signal, that's your yes, not just to a goal, but to a gear shift in how you move through this world. And Aries, you were never meant to move slowly. You were made to lead the charge. So here we are. The fire is lit, the vision is clear. The call has been spoken, Not just from me, but from something ancient inside you that refuses to stay quiet. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. Because the version of you that's wealthy, powerful, wildly alive, they're not far away. They're not a fantasy. They're not waiting for permission. They're waiting for embodiment. And the path from here to there? It isn't paved with hustle alone. It's paved with truth. Your truth. The one you've known since before the world taught you to be careful. The one that whispers louder when you're close to something real. This is your activation, not just of mindset, but of movement, of claiming what you know is yours, even if no one else sees it yet. Because the truth is, they'll see it after. After you say yes, after you commit, after you dare to show up like the answer, not the question. And Aries, you were never the question. You were always the ignition. The fire that doesn't ask if it's too soon, the leader who doesn't wait for approval, the soul who burns so brightly that wealth, opportunity, and impact have no choice but to orbit around your courage. So here's what I invite you to do. Breathe it in, feel it land. Let this message mark the beginning of a new financial chapter, not just in your bank account, but in your identity. And if it resonates, say it with me, out loud or in your heart. I am not chasing success, I am aligning with it. I am not waiting, I am choosing. And I am not becoming a millionaire. I am becoming the version of me who can hold it. Let that be your start. Let that be your signal to the universe. And let this be the moment you stop asking if it's real and start moving like it already is. If this message spoke to something deep in you, share it. Leave a comment. Let the world see the version of Aries that's no longer shrinking to fit, because once you move in your full fire, others will follow, and that's how legacies begin.